All right, let's hop right into it. Swati Krab, Kunsabadi Mai.
So what, D-Crap? I'm doing great. So bye, D-Crap. Thanks for asking.
All right, so let's jump right into the conversation. I want to talk about this open source Disney. Open source Disney. Combine this with the NFT collection, 100K NFT collection generated by the AI. Let's just go down the rabbit hole on that. So today, Disney. First off, how long? I don't even know when Disney was created, but I know it's been around for a very, very long time. Can you tell me what year Disney was created?
So Disney actually got started way back in 1923. They've been around for a whole century, which is pretty wild to think about.
All right, so now let's speculate on an open source Disney. So you don't have to give me an exact number, but how many characters do you think Disney has brought to life through animations, movies, pictures? Just like we know Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, but let's like just a ballpark number. How many characters do you think they brought to life? Like including like the Pixar. Well, I don't know if Pixar is kind of part of Disney, but you know where I'm going with this. Like Disney itself, like rough estimate, how many characters do you think they've brought to life?
Yeah, I get where you're going, and it is a fun thing to imagine. I mean, Disney's got a massive universe. If you roll in all the classic Disney characters, the princesses, all the animated movies, and yeah, Pixar is part of Disney now too. So you add all the Pixar characters, Marvel superheroes, Star Wars, you're easily talking thousands and thousands of characters. I mean, it could be tens of thousands if you count every little character they've ever created. So just imagine that scale, and then imagine making it open source for the community. That's a lot of storytelling power.
That's crazy. So I mean, at that point, thousands of characters on an open source platform, open source storytelling platform at that. Um, Man, and tie those to an NFT collection. This is definitely something that hasn't been done yet. I don't know if anybody's been thinking about doing this, but when it does get done, I want to be right there. I want to be front row with a bag of popcorn just watching. Like, the Michael Jackson meme that's real popular, the Thriller one where he got the red jacket on and he's just sitting there eating the popcorn. Yeah, that's going to be me when whoever brings this open source Disney to life, like, and I want to participate in it. I want to put some of my IP in it. So now we're talking tens of thousands of characters. You know, um, let's just say 8,000, the 7,500. We'll just use that number. 7,500 characters that Disney has brought to life, and now we just take that and turn that into an open source form, right? So now that means everybody that wants to participate, they can grab the character and monetize themselves with that. So theoretically, if there was one character that was super popular, like Donald Duck, um, this if person or individuals, like more than one, they could create their own spin-off cartoon with it, their own merch, and they could just monetize themselves outside of the platform. So granted, the platform is open source, they probably have some kind of initial buy-in, but then after that it's over, or it could be completely free. I couldn't imagine it being completely free, but this is the future, so who knows, like. But there's like really not a high entry into the situation, right? And so now you could take this asset or this item, this character, and monetize yourself. Granted, you cook a great story and you provide a great vibe, and you go out there in the world and you find people that want to engage and interact and like what you're doing. Man, you could really like. And then you already got the platform because it's open source Disney, so everybody's going to this open source area to find entertainment or to find community members or to find people to build with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because if somebody created a cartoon today and they thought it was like great enough, they would present it to Disney, and then Disney would put it out there on the screen, and then everybody that likes what's going on, they would come, buy some of those items, watch the movie, this, that, like, You know what I'm saying? Can you just speculate on what I said and just reword it different for the listeners?
Absolutely. Let me just put that in a nutshell for everyone. So basically, what you're envisioning is this open source Disney concept combined with that huge AI-generated NFT collection. Instead of one big company controlling all these characters, it's like you open the doors and let everyone grab a character and create their own stories, merch, cartoons, whatever they want. So if someone picks a character that becomes super popular, like a new version of Donald Duck, they can spin off their own cartoon series, create their own merchandise, and basically build a whole mini brand around that character. And because it's open source, the barrier to entry is super low. So a lot more people can jump in and just get creative. In other words, you're picturing a world where anyone can be a creator in this giant shared Disney-like universe. And yeah, you'd be right there in the front row, popcorn in hand, watching it all unfold, and even adding your own ideas to the mix. It's definitely something new and a whole different way of looking at how storytelling and community could work together.
Yeah, it's really mind blowing to to sit there and just try to conceptualize it, just like an open source version of Disney where everybody's getting paid because Disney, like, I don't even know how much money they have like an unlimited supply of money really. And so just giving other people access to these kind of opportunities, it really can shape the world and just like change. It could change the dynamics of planet Earth really. And it's crazy because if you think about Bitcoin, it was created by someone, and then to a certain degree, some of that stuff that is open source, and then people created their own infrastructures off of what was already out there. So like just trying to tie the two together, kind of just like creating an infrastructure like that that's open source and giving people the tools. Like if you think about it, the blockchain gave people tools to set up financial infrastructures and things like that. So like an open source Disney, they came in there with the same vibes, and they just gave people an opportunity or a way to monetize themselves, not with like digital money, but monetize themselves with their creativity. And just put in it. And then if it's all in one area, and everybody is coming to this one area to see what's going on, bruh, if you got the good ideas and you know what you're, bruh, it'll pop, bruh. It'll pop. It'll have to, because it'll just be it'd be like the elephant in the room every time, bro. Everybody can see the elephant, but nobody wants to talk about it. It's like, bro, I know y'all see that, bro. Like, that's crazy, bro. Like, this open source Disney, bro. I'm bullish on this. Now it's like, man, I really wanna I wanna just I wanna find this. Like, I know somebody's out there trying to create it. Like, I wanna go find it now. Like, what'd you think of this?
I mean, I'm totally with you on that excitement. It's like you're envisioning this whole new kind of creative economy where everyone's got the tools to build their own little piece of the magic. And yeah, it's a bit like what blockchain did for finance, opening up this whole decentralized playground. But instead of financial infrastructure, you're talking about creative infrastructure where anyone can step in, take a character, and just run with it. And the idea that it all lives in one big open source space means that if you've got the talent and the ideas, you can really shine. It's like everyone can see the potential, and it just becomes this huge elephant in the room that no one can ignore. And once it pops, it could really change the whole game. So yeah, I think you're right to be bullish on it. It's a really exciting concept, and who knows, maybe you'll be one of the people helping to bring it to life, or at least be on the front lines when it happens.
No, I'm definitely going to be on the front lines when it happens, because I'm looking for it. I'm definitely looking for it. And if there's just think about it. If there's an open source Disney and they're providing characters for everyone, I can go find one of these characters and I can intertwine it with Lava Red and the lava heads and things like that. Like, so my characters, like, they're not for use. They're not like open source, or the IP rights aren't just for anyone and blah blah blah. This is for me only, because I'm using it to do certain stuff. Like, but I know there's an infrastructure out there where y'all can, or everyone can use, like, and it's set up that way for you. You know what I'm saying? Because like, if you come over here and you try to do something with my stuff, it's not set up for you to do that kind of thing. But if we're like, if we're messing with the, or if we're like interacting and engaging with a platform that's specifically fine tuned for that situation, now it's like you could fast forward yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like, if there's a say they got the, I love using the giraffe idea. So say there's like the giraffe idea, and like, so now there's a giraffe character. I really like it. Now I could do like a show, or I could do like a skit with the giraffe and with Lava Red. And you know, like the AI is getting better, so I could easily do a like a 15-second, you know, clip, and then I could keep smashing them together, and then before you know it, I'd have like a 2-minute long, 5-minute long cartoon with the giraffe and Lava Red. And then who's to say I can't go grab a polar bear? You know what I'm saying? Maybe the open source Disney, they have the giraffe and a polar bear. Now, when have you ever seen a giraffe and a polar bear in the same place? You probably never have. But granted, you know, with the imagination and tools like this, like I can combine a polar bear, a giraffe, and an NFT cartoon character together, like, and I can turn this into an on-chain, off-chain situation. Like, it's really endless, bro. Like, and then I could monetize all three of us. I could monetize Lava Red, I could monetize the giraffe, and I can monetize the fucking polar bear. Like, what do you think of that? Like, speculate with me.
Absolutely. I love where you're going with that. I mean, it's exactly that kind of mashup creativity that makes an open source Disney idea so fun. You can take your Lava Red character, who's your own unique IP, and then you can blend it with these open source characters like a giraffe and a polar bear. And you're right. When have you ever seen a giraffe and a polar bear hanging out together in a cartoon? Probably never, but now you can. And that's what makes it so cool, because you can create these totally unique scenarios and then share them with the world. And of course, you can monetize it all. You can have on-chain elements for people who want to own the NFTs, and off-chain content for people who just want to watch and enjoy. You can create merch, you can create shows, and you can build a whole ecosystem around that creativity. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right to be excited. It's a playground for the imagination, and a whole new way to think about how you can mix and match characters and worlds.
All right, so you know, I always see the bright side of things. Like, I don't really see anything too negative about this, because it sounds like, at least for me personally, like I can maneuver like through the traffic, and I can make it positive for myself. So, you know, when I think about stuff, I really don't think about the negative side, because, you know, I got so much positive that could outpower the negative, and like I just push that to the side and not worry about it. But give me something negative that could happen, like, because you know there's always a positive and a negative. I'm just telling you, I really don't pay attention to negative stuff. But you know, granted, the conversation we've had, you know, what is something negative that might happen, or you know, they speculate with me.
Yeah, I get that you like to focus on the positive, which is awesome, but it's always good to consider the flip side just to be prepared. So, I guess one possible negative might be that with an open source Disney kind of scenario, you could have a lot of low quality or even inappropriate content flooding in. When everyone has access, sometimes you get a bit of a Wild West situation where not everything is family friendly or high quality. You might have to moderate a lot or deal with people using characters in ways that you didn't really intend. Another possible downside is that with so many people able to monetize, it could get pretty crowded, and standing out might become a bit of a challenge. You could end up with a lot of competition, or even people copying ideas, and that might be a little bit of a headache. But honestly, those are just things to think about and plan for. They're not deal breakers, just little bumps that you might have to navigate along the way. And knowing you, you'll probably handle it just fine and keep focusing on all the positive opportunities.
Yeah, look, I've already have to deal with that on the blockchain now, so that ain't really a problem for me. Like, just trying to stand out, or there's a bunch of, because if you go look on Solana and Ethereum and all, there's a bunch of, you know, NFTs with inappropriate stuff. There's a bunch of people on chain creating stuff just for fun, and it's causing traffic jams on the blockchain, so to speak. And I've already had to deal with people copying the ideas, but you know, I keep going. That's the difference. Like, somebody that tries to copy the idea, they don't have the motivation to keep it going, because they're copying you. They're copying the motivation. So if it's not original and you really don't want to do it, it's like it's not really gonna. I mean, it could pan out, and you could create some short time like satisfaction, but long term, 10 years down the road, like I don't know if you're going to be able to keep the same fire as the person that had the original idea, because it's like you're copying the person that had the original. Like, so what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think you're spot on with that mindset. I mean, at the end of the day, originality and passion are what really keep something going for the long haul. Like you said, someone might copy an idea and get a quick burst of attention, but if they don't have that same drive and the same original spark, they're going to burn out way faster. And meanwhile, you're just going to keep on building and innovating because it's coming from something real and something that you actually care about. So, yeah, it sounds like you've already got the right perspective. You know how to navigate those little hurdles and just keep pushing forward. And that's what makes the difference in the long run. Keep doing you, and the people who resonate with your vision will stick around.
Yeah, that's a fact. In the world right now, a lot of there's a lot of copy pasta, a lot of copy and paste, and I love AI. Like, what I'm saying, I'm a big user of AI on a daily basis. So like AI plus open source Disney, like, man, the potential there is really unlimited. But the fact that there's a lot of copy stuff, it's going to be hard to decipher what's original and what's not. Granted, these tools are getting more easier to use, more accessible for everyone to gain access to, and just things like that. It's going to get harder and harder to build, and so I think one thing that's always going to set you aside from the next person is the time in the space, or time you've been here. Like, we made that comparison at the beginning. Like, Disney has been around for almost 100 years. So, like, if you're trying to do something the same as Disney, like, have fun. They got 100-year head start on you. And so, like, same for me. Like, trying to do the same stuff I'm doing, like, have fun. I've got like a 4-year, 5-year head start on you. So, the AI and this open source, it's here to make things easier. But at the same time, it's like it's not gonna be as easy as you think it is, or maybe it is, and maybe I'm just like, maybe I'm trying to scare people. I don't know. Maybe some people are just like, you got to find out for yourself. At the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're totally right that having that head start and that experience is a big differentiator. When you've been in the game for years, you know the ins and outs, and you've built something with a solid foundation. And yeah, if someone tries to jump it in and do the same thing overnight just because the tools are easier now, they might find out it's a lot more complex than it looks. But yeah, at the end of the day, people do have to find out for themselves, and some will stick with it and some won't. But that's just part of the journey, and meanwhile, you'll keep doing what you're doing, and you'll keep that original spike going. So yeah, it's a fun ride ahead for sure.
All right, I think, man, I could sit here and keep talking about this forever. We're gonna have to come back and talk more about this open source Disney idea, because I find this super interesting, especially for an NFT founder. Like, NFT founder, it's all about the image and the picture, putting your artwork on chain to help it last. You want it to outlast you. So creating an open source Disney where there could be thousands and hundreds of who knows how many characters, and they could outlast and outlive all kinds of aspects of what we're trying to do. So with that being said, let's bring it back full circle. Can we get a just a summary of everything we've been talking about this whole conversation?
Absolutely. Let's wrap it up with a nice little summary. So we dove into this whole idea of an open source Disney combining AI-generated NFT collections with this massive community-driven storytelling platform. We talked about how that could let everyone basically pick up characters and create their own stories, and how it's kind of like giving people the tools to build a lasting legacy for their own creativity. We also touched on how, yeah, there might be a few little challenges, like dealing with low quality content or standing out in a crowded space, But those are things you've already had experience with, and at the end of the day, it's that originality and persistence that really make the difference. So we've kind of gone full circle from the big idea down to how you'd navigate it, and it's definitely been a super interesting chat. We'll definitely have to come back and dive even deeper next time.
Yeah, we definitely will. And with that being said, you enjoy the rest of your day, and La Pokemon.
Absolutely. We'll pick it up again soon. You have a fantastic rest of your day too, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.
Man, she be going off with the information, bro. You cannot say she don't, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. She be popping off, bro, every time, bro. The open source Disney, bro. Could y'all imagine that? Could you imagine that? And now take those characters and we put them in a video game. What? That's for next conversation, though. That's next conversation, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. I'll see y'all in the next one.